Welcome to the Misfit One Lifestyles with Elizabeth Colin. She will awaken and connect with your Misfit One. Are you tired of the ups and downs in your life? Are you ready to live a healthy lifestyle once and for all? We are talking about all aspects of your life. Being fit is not just physical, it's also your mind and soul. Learn how to take steps in your life to move towards your goals. Elizabeth's goal is for everyone listening to the sound of her voice to get fit. Let's get focused, let's get intentional, and let's transform. Now here's your host, Elizabeth Colin.
Hey guys, welcome to Misfit One Lifestyles. I'm your host, Elizabeth Colin, also known as Misfit One. And today, my guest is coming to you all about the food, baby. Who's intimidated in the kitchen? I am. We don't have to worry about that no more because we have the one and only Carmen Maya. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for having me today, Elizabeth. I'm just excited to talk about some food with you.
Listen, I am excited to speak with you. I've been looking forward to meeting you because I really love the fact that you can help me not fear the kitchen. I mean, I cook. You know, some people really like, ooh, that's not who I am. But you have tons of recipes and all this on how we can create fun dishes that we can also prep, right?
Yes. So I am in the kitchen most days, making something. Now, I'm not in the kitchen for hours because I don't want to be there that long, but it doesn't have to be that hard to whip up something tasty, nutritious, delicious. So yeah, my cookbook that just came out in January, the Everything Diet Meal Prep Cookbook, has 200 recipes. So if you need some recipes, I got them.
And we need some recipes, girl. We need some recipes. What's so great about that, and I was looking through it, and I love that not only the recipes, I was looking through your Instagram, which is awesome sauce. You guys, let's share that information right quick.
Yeah. So on Instagram, it is my first and last name, but it's spelled a little different. So it's KarmanMeyer. So Carmen Maya.
Right. And when I was looking through there and I saw you flipping through the book and all those recipes, I'm like, I need this in my life. And I love it. It's not that just the food that we enjoy, but the things that we can use as a prepper to prep it for a day. So can you talk to us about that?
Yes. So it is a meal prep focused cookbook. So every single one of those recipes, 200 recipes, have instructions for, prepping ahead of time, whether it's a freezer meal recipe or something for breakfast. I even have a chapter on just like staple meal components so that if you just want to batch cook maybe a chicken and batch cook some roasted vegetables based on my recipe, and then you can use them however you'd like throughout the week, just to make life a little bit easier.
Yeah, because a lot of times when people are eating out a lot, because they just don't feel confident in their kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I get that. I work with a lot of people that if they didn't grow up like standing next to whoever in the kitchen, learning those skills, it's intimidating. Or maybe you had a great cook in the family, but they were like, no, it's my kitchen. Like
it's still intimidating the other way. Right now, I'm like, I can't do it like my mama. Like,
yeah. But you can, and with just some really basic like knife skills, some simple knowledge with, how do we roast vegetables or cook a whole chicken. I know that one can sound really scary, but it's really a lot easier than most people probably think. And there's that recipe in my cookbook. But yeah, just some really simple things that we can learn to throw together an easy recipe, or even things like smoothies, having those ingredients prepped and in a little smoothie pack. So you just have to wake up in the morning, or maybe after a workout, throw it in the blender. You have a great snack.
And what's great about it, you are the founder of Nourish Well Network. And can you talk to us about that? Tell us, because listen, just because I know about you, because I was being like a stalker.
That's all right. That's all right.
I want to make sure everybody else know who you are and what you do.
Right. So I am a dietitian. I don't think I really said that from the get-go. Yes, but I've been a dietitian for going on almost 15 years now, and working with individuals, showing them how to cook at home more, because it is a really easy way to then eat better, and then providing that nutrition counseling. But so I do see patients one-on-one, and I have my blog, The Nutrition Adventure, and then Nourish Well Network is actually where I work with companies to provide employee wellness events, like virtual cooking classes or some kind of nutrition seminar. And we, get their employees together to talk about these different topics and get them excited about food again, hopefully, and help them see how easy it can be to incorporate more of these nutritious foods that we all need on a daily basis.
Love it. I love it. Can you tell us how we can get in contact with you?
Yes. So on Instagram, again, Carmen Meyer is my full name, and it's KarmanMeyer. I'm also on Facebook for my blog, The Nutrition Adventure. So you can find me on Facebook, or email me at carmen@thenutritionadventure.com. So lots of ways to find me.
Yes. And what I just admire in you is that a lot of times, because I'm a nutritionist too, a lot of times we find people who, I'm going to say find people. I'm going to talk about me first, because I only knew how to cook really good Southern types of food, right? Like soul food with all, we had the right components. We had collard greens, but we put the ham hocks in there, and we had okra, but we fried the okra. We had the right components. And so I learned how to cook that way. When I was going through my transformation, when I lost all of my weight, I didn't have a Carmen in my life with these recipes that I could learn and do and say, hey, help me out, Carmen. I had to figure it out. So I think that is why I am so in awe with you, because I really needed someone like you to help me learn how to cook healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Well, thank you, number one, for all of your kind words. You're so sweet. But yeah, that's usually the biggest barrier for people. And, as a dietitian, I'm never going to just tell someone like, okay, eat this, this, and this, and goodbye, good luck, And we don't just eat nutrients. I could say, well, you need more potassium or you need more magnesium. What does that mean?
Lord, yeah.
People aren't going to know what that means, and that's okay, because that's where I come in and other nutrition experts. And we say, to get more magnesium in your day, have some like whole grain toast with avocado on top, add a little bit of sea salt, some red chili flakes, maybe sprinkle on some pumpkin seeds to get a good dose of magnesium, maybe put a nice over easy egg to get that. Yeah, I'm getting excited just thinking about it.
I know, me too. I'm doing the happy dance, like feed me, see more. You're talking my language. Which is great, because, again, not everybody know that. And I love how you work with your clients to encourage them more, to just say, listen, you don't have to fear food, because a lot of times we go, and I'm saying when people are trying to change their eating to a healthy way, we are intimidated by all food, because I only know how to cook it one way. And I'm going to say, for me, like yams or sweet potatoes, listen, I lost over 117 pounds, and I've changed my life completely in 16 years. I've been very steady. But the one thing that I still do not eat is sweet potatoes, because I only like them the fat way. I only like them with the mushrooms and the brown like, and that's crazy. But now I just don't eat them now, because I know that the other ways I feel disappointed. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, this is not a sweet potato. This is not a sweet potato. Like, no, it is not mushroom. I mean, the marshmallows and candy. But when you have alternatives and you learn those things, it makes it smoother, and mm-hmm. when you meet with a client, can you kind of walk through what we, like you said earlier, the staples that we should have in our kitchen, our cabinets, to kind of, in case we're getting a pinch, to make something healthy to reach for?
Yeah, so I work with a wide variety of people from all different backgrounds, level of experience in the kitchen. And so first of all, I want to know more about the person I'm actually talking to. What are they already eating? What does a day look like for them? What foods do they like? And what foods do they really not like? So that, I'm not trying to make someone who hates broccoli eat broccoli every day.
Right.
So number one, where are we at? What do we like? And then we can kind of put in these little changes or these additional foods where we're not overhauling the entire day or someone's schedule. Like I said, if someone's already having, let's say, toast and eggs for breakfast, maybe we add some nut butter to our toast or some avocado to the toast, because we want a little bit of the healthy fats and some additional protein. Maybe to our eggs, we mix in some spinach, cook that down a little bit. Yeah.
We saw it at the same time.
We're on the same page. A little bit of cheese even is fine. That's extra protein. There's all kinds of things you can just add to what you're already doing, and it just makes it even better. Or, when I do meet with people, sometimes there is that thought okay, I'm going to eat healthy. That means no more cookies ever. I'm like, no, you will be really sad without cookies.
Right.
I would be sad without cookies. And it's okay to have a cookie at the end of your day. Maybe you have that sweet tooth, but if you've eaten a dinner that has some good protein on there, some whole grains, it's veggies, something like, maybe some salmon with a quinoa and some roasted veggies, have your cookie. It's okay. So I always want to emphasize that to people, that this is not like an all or nothing and giving up the things that you love so much. Even with your sweet potatoes, Elizabeth.
I know.
There's times where you can have that, maybe a holiday or with family.
Oh, absolutely.
And people need that, because food is not just, again, nutrients.
Yes. It's emotional.
Yes. It's joy.
It's, and it's really true. You literally just said my breakfast today. I had eggs with spinach and cheese. I put a little salsa on top, little hot salsa. Girl, you can't tell me. I was doing that happy dance.
What more do you need? That's
what do you need? Life is grand. I love how you say, it all depends on what you like. It's not a complete overhaul of your life. And I think that when you go to people and they say, oh, you got to have so many macros and this and that, and it is a frightening thing. I know, I did it. I was on the other side when people was like, have to have more, even when I would say carbohydrates, I didn't even know what carbohydrate, and I would just okay, walk out I don't know what the hell. What was that, right?
Yeah, that's not helpful at all.
Right, that doesn't help me at all. But when you broke it down and said, okay, whole wheat toast, avocado, that's, and then everybody yeah, I could do that because I do that now, right? It's not a shock to your system, and it's not about taking away things. I think you said that the best is not about taking away things, but adding things.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, we focus on the positive, like what are we going to enjoy more of, and what is going to make our body feel better. I mean, there's no doubt that food plays such an important role in that, you know, our energy level from day to day, how we sleep at night, in addition to, again, like our blood sugar levels, our heart health, our mental health. Food can touch each of those areas. And so it's just really an important thing to think about. But adding in those certain foods that have just the right nutrients. I like to think of it as, you have your toolbox, and if you want to go and do a good job on something, you're fixing a wall, you need to have the right tools. You can't just put duct tape over the hole in the wall.
And then paint.
Cover it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying, when I was asking you, like, is it staples in our house? Like for me, that everyone, regardless, of course, if you don't like it, don't get it. But just overall, fruits, veggies, olive oil, whatever, to kind of, no matter what, to have something like, what is the staples to have in your kitchen?
Yes. So, generally speaking, any fruits and vegetables, the ones you like, have them in the house.
There you go.
There you go. And then for grain foods, things that are going to be a whole grain, meaning it provides more fiber. So that whole grain beans, they're great. Whether they're dried beans or canned beans, that's okay. We can use canned foods. Rinse them before you use them. It'll cut the sodium by up to 40%. So that's huge for someone who has maybe hypertension. So you can rinse those beans. If you're using even canned green beans, you can rinse those. Frozen vegetables are definitely your friend, especially if you don't like prepping them or roasting them. Have some frozen veggies on hand. You can just steam them, and you already have your side dish. As far as protein foods, beans definitely meet that as well.
Yep.
We love our beans. Things like salmon and tuna for our omega-3 fatty acids are great. Other lean proteins. So otherwise, in your, spice cabinet, go crazy with the spices. When it comes to turmeric and ginger and garlic and fresh herbs, some lemon or orange for fresh zest, that can punch up a dish quicker than anything else. Some fresh lemon zest, it just next level.
Listen, Carmen, I'm glad you said that, because I took it was like a cooking class when my husband's job was doing it, and we was on with cooking, and it was really cool. And they was doing the zest. And I was like, do you know, I've been just peeling it and squeezing it and gone, And so now I feel very, very fancy. I'm
good.
I'm like, well, I'm going to zest this and put it on there. And that's it really does make a difference on, your meals. It gives everything a little different taste. And I love the fact that you say to experiment and play with your seasoning, because there's so many different type of seasoning that will take your food, your regular sauteed onions and bell. Listen, my base for almost every one of my meals: bell peppers, onions, tomatoes, spinach, all the different color. I do that on, that's like a standard. Like everybody have rice, whatever. That's kind of like my base on everything. But those vegetables can taste different depending on the spices you put on it, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, because you could go stir fry route, some more Asian flavors.
There you go.
Mexican route with some cumin and some chili powder and some garlic.
Yes.
Traditional American flavors, just
salt and pepper. Yeah.
Salt and pepper. I was like, what are those?
Yeah, no,
salt and pepper. we want to add a little bit more flavor to that. So many ways you can go.
Yeah. So I, that was some great tips right there, because y'all better be writing this down, because we have a challenge, or I have a challenge for everybody after this. But what I want you guys to realize, she just told you staples that you should have in your kitchen, and she hit all the food that's on your pyramid. So when she's saying try these things, how about my challenge to you is to try a new recipe once a month, once a week. And the best way to try a new recipe is get a new recipe book. And talk about, I got to get your book. I'm going to get your book. But Karen's book, because it's 200. I mean, listen, that's set for the year. You set for the year.
That's right. Yeah.
So how we get the book?
It is on Amazon, and it's the Everything Dash Diet Meal Prep Cookbook. And I just want to mention, if you're not familiar with Dash Diet, it's the acronym stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. And so for anyone who is concerned about high blood pressure, or maybe that runs in your family, this is a great cookbook for you. It's just about, number one, cooking more at home and using those other seasonings and herbs to flavor our food so that we don't need as much salt. You can still have salt. I don't want you to take that away. We need salt when we're cooking, but we can add so much flavor without it too.
Right.
And that word diet is attached to it. I mean, it's been that way since the DASH diet was established, but it's not like a restrictive diet where you're not eating an entire food group. It's an eating pattern, truly.
But that's what diet is. Everybody has a diet. It's a healthy diet or an unhealthy diet. We all have a diet, right?
Exactly.
And so I just love that you have made this available for us. No brainers. And even, I don't care how experienced you are or not, because I feel very confident in that I make the right choices, but I want to learn more recipes, and you get tired of doing the same things. And so when you got a whole recipe book that you could just pull down and try, and it's very hard for me, like I'm a pescatarian, so I don't eat meat. I got to clarify that pescatarian don't eat meat, because some people think that's a religion. Like, no, I just don't.
I've not heard that. That's good. Yes.
Stick with me, kid. Because I mean, we hear some things. I'm like, a religion? What? No, this doesn't mean I don't eat meat. I eat seafood and everything else. But it's very hard to find a cookbook that's not so just meat heavy. Like it's either meat heavy, or it's no meat. It's the vegan, and I'm not that either. So it's like I look, like I'm telling you, I was looking through it and I saw so many things that I thought, ooh, I want to try this, and ooh, I want to try that. So it's good for everyone. If you're a meat eater, not meat eater, whatever, it has enough of everything in there to make it good for your heart.
Right. Yeah. There's a whole chapter on just seafood recipes, which I love. A good seafood dish. And hopefully it's not intimidating to people. I think sometimes cooking fish or other seafood, it just seems intimidating to a lot of people, but super simple as far as like a sheet pan salmon recipe, everything on one pan. So also easy cleanup, which I love. And you're meal prepping. Don't want to forget about that.
I was just supposed to say that. Yeah.
You're meal prepping ahead of time. And we don't have to meal prep every week. Again, it's not an all or nothing kind of thing. Just when you can meal prep in your week, it's awesome. Or sometimes if I don't have time to do a lot of meal prep, when I'm actually cooking a meal, a dinner, say on a weeknight, maybe I'll chop some extra veggies that I can then use the next night or the next morning. You're just getting a little head start. That's all that meal prep is.
Can I tell you, I'm so happy you said that, because that's exactly what I was thinking. I tried the whole meal prep thing. I was not good at it. I didn't like it for all week. However, I did. And that's the thing about it. You learn like you said, what works for you. So I have my stuff cut up so that I can just throw it in and make something and not have to start from scratch. So I have my food prepped so that I don't have to be like, oh man, I got to cut up these onions, got to cut these bell peppers, I got to cut up these tomatoes, I got to cut up, everything is like prepped. So all I got to do is go in and go, oh, I want some of this and I want some of that. And that's the same as meal prepping. So I don't want you guys to think that meal prepping is just like what we see on Instagram and all the places they have all 12 dishes and they feed like, no, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, if you came to my house and looked at my fridge, you're not going to find any of that.
No, look, we laughing. No, because it's true. And then let me ask you this, because you on Misfit One, and we're going to talk about living fit. And when I say fit, it's focus plus intentional equals transformation. And this is exactly what you do for others. We want to know, how do you do that for you? What does your self-care look like?
Well, I love being outside whenever I can in my garden, any other plants, plant babies. That just really does help me to, in a way, meditate. I'm only thinking about that at that time, and just getting in hopefully some good vitamin D from the sun while I'm doing that too. And I do enjoy cooking. It is therapeutic. Because I like chopping things and doing that prep work. Again, it's just kind of good to be present in that moment. And I'm thankful that my husband also enjoys cooking, so we can cook together. So that I really, appreciate that. That's time that we can spend together. Yeah.
That is awesome, because, a lot of times people don't even think about gardening as a self-care. And it is, because you're using your senses, you're digging in the ground, you're getting grounded, you're getting the air, the wind, the breeze, the sun. And it is an amazing part of self-care to be connected to the earth and to feel as though you are growing something. And I love that. Thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you so much, Elizabeth. This has been fun. I always love talking about food, but it's been super fun talking to you about it today.
Thank you so much. Before we wrap it up, tell the people, where can they get the book from again? And any last words of encouragement you want to leave us?
So you can find the book on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, any large retailer for books. And my, words of wisdom, things to leave you with is start small. Don't try to just overhaul your life completely when it comes to food. Just one small change a day, and in a week, 2 weeks, it'll become second nature. You won't think about it anymore, and hopefully you'll be feeling better from it too.
I love that, because that is facts. Tell me the name of the book again.
It's the Everything Diet Meal Prep Cookbook.
Bam! There you go, guys. Run out and get it. Thank you again for coming on. This has been so awesome. I am going to go and prep my veggies for the week.
Yay!
Until next week, you guys, live fit. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Misfit One Lifestyles. Listen, when you are fed up and sick and tired of living this stifled, overwhelmed, and overstressed life, and you're ready to live the fullest, richest, and healthiest life by gaining more confidence, more energy, and more clarity, living in your best self, you know what to do, right? Go ahead, go to my website, misfit1.com. Sign up for our online courses, Creating Healthy Habit, so that you too can live fit, focus, move with intention, and transform your life.